This is Robert with Fishing Weekend Warrior, and today I want to share one of my favorite lines that I like to use for leader and basically tying up things like terminal tackle for hooks or bumpers. This right here is Berkley Trilene Big Game Mono 40-pound green. I like to use the green, and I honestly don't know why. It's just my favorite color to use. And this spool contains 370 yards. Now basically it comes wrapped in a plastic thing, and I'm going to go ahead and open this one. I have a partial in the fishing shed, and I should have brought that in, but I kind of forgot. And then it has some line tape on to hold the end. And we'll just go ahead and pull that off and save this, and you can reapply it because it's very sticky and it holds the end very well. I like to use this because it's a good quality line and it has just the right amount of stretch that when we get about 4 to 6 feet of this, that if I get a salmon on and it hits it, it'll give it just a little bit of stretch, so that way it doesn't pull it right out of its mouth. Of course, a nice flexible pole will also help with that too, but I use braid as my main line, so that definitely has no stretch there. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run a little demo video of me tying a rig with this line. And check that out, and I recommend this, and you'll see from this video how it works for me. So I went ahead and cut off a 42-inch piece of my mono fishing line here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my Gamakatsu Big River 3/0 hook and stick this line in there. And we're ripping through this as fast as we can. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 over the top, just like that. And this is a modified egg loop for anybody who's familiar with the different fishing knots. We're just going to go ahead and stick this through there. If you're doing an egg loop, you would actually do more than that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll hold this really tight, wet the line. So the most important thing is we don't let go of the bottom. And boom, just like that. Make sure it's centered before you give it that last big cinch. So you grab that tag end and pull it to where you want it, and then give it a good pull. Some people will put a screw or a nail in and pull against that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. If it's bait, you want it a little bit shorter, but since it's not bait, you don't need to worry too much about that. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the second hook. We're just going to drop that on there. Bring it down. So we ran this mono through the eyelet. Now, it's really important to get the hooks facing the opposite direction. So I'm going to get it laid up like that. And we want them just above each other. So if you see that, and then again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab that and hold it firmly. This is where things go wrong really easily, is if you lose hold of that line. Put it in there, and just enough that we can get a good firm hold when we're done. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And before we do anything else, we want to make sure that we've got this hook where we want it. And then we're going to wet the line and pull it through. This is where it gets dicey right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it. And boom, just like that. Boom, done. Add our beads and our spinner blade, and this is ready to fish.